your cell phone off and just put it on vibrate.
Can you hear me now?
The bathrooms in the back, we guarantee there'll be a break. There'll be time to eat, there'll be time to mingle. All your needs will be met. So please turn your cell phone off. Turn it off. Turn your cell phone off. Turn it off. Turn your cell phone off. Turn it off. Turn your cell phone off.
All right, everybody on your feet. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Come on, let's go. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah. Say hello to somebody around you. Here we go. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. All right.
Thank you. Good morning, Palm Desert. How are you? Yeah. All right. So let's say together our who we are and our vision and our mission. So we are a positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our vision: spiritual awakening and personal growth in a world that works for everyone. Our mission: to help individuals discover the spiritual tools and an inner power that has the ability to transform lives and make the world a better place. So that is who we are. So if you're here for the first time, we are a spiritual community that welcomes all paths here. We know that there's only one God, but there's many paths. So today, after the second service, Wings will be presenting Michael, and he will be going over his book, and there'll be a light lunch. So if you haven't signed up and you want to come back, please go to the table there. You can get Michael's book, and you can also sign up for the meeting this afternoon. Don't forget, Monday again, this is continuing the Financial Peace University at 6:30 here in the sanctuary. And this Wednesday is our midweek faith lift, and it's with Paul Heater, and he does a beautiful meditation and readings, and it's a wonderful way just to kind of get you over the week, to get you till you can come back here Sunday and get fed again spiritually. So please join him this Wednesday for that. This Thursday is the first Thursday of the month, so Soul Sisters, we will be meeting at 6:30 over in the Ohm Room. So it's a wonderful way to meet women here that at our center and to share. and we always have a pretty good time. So please join me with that for that. Sunday, May 7th. God, I can't believe it's May already. We are going to be having our spring art show that Lisa Potencio puts together, and it's always wonderful. We have so many wonderful artists here in our center, and they'll be displaying their art over in the OM room. So please mark your calendar for that. And May 7th will be an informational meeting right after the second service for those of us who are going to Australia, but more too for those who may be on the fence and they want to learn more. It'd be a great way to find out and be able to sign up for our trip. We always have such a wonderful time. They take us, we don't worry about anything. They have the tours lined up for us. They take us everywhere. And we really learn the culture, the spirituality of where we're going, and really get to know the people. I love them. For those of you, we had like 30 people sign up last week for child help. They were crying. They were so happy because they have 85 children there that are placed, that they're so abused they can't even go into foster homes yet. So people have signed up to be a special friend. If you have not been contacted and you signed up, please see me at the front desk. There were some names where we couldn't read the email or the phone number. And so if you have not been contacted and have not been given the name of your child, your special friend, please see me out there and I'll make sure I get the information so they can contact you. And that's it. So I'm going to turn it over to Jerry Lynn. We have Megan's here. I'm going to let her introduce her.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday to you. Today we get to feature some of our very own Michael Hadley, who you all know as our fabulous background singer over here. But also we're bringing back Megan Van Dyke to do some duets with Michael today. So this is going to be really fun. Put your hands together for Michael and Megan.
Listen, baby, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby. If you need me, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far. Don't worry, baby, just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you.
Remember the day I set you free. I told you you could always count on me. From that day on, I made a vow. I'll be there when you want me, some way, somehow. 'Cause there
Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you. No wind, no rain, no winter storm can stop the spirit. If you're ever in trouble, I'll be there on a double. Just send for me, oh baby. My love is alive, way down in my heart. We're miles apart. If you ever need a helping hand, I'll be there on a double, just as fast as I can. You know that there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you. You know that there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from you. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from you. Oh, nothing can keep me from you. Oh,
Megan and Michael. All right. We do got to work on that choreography, man. I didn't see any
We need
rivers
you.
wide
We need you
enough.
back
I didn't see
there.
anything high enough.
Next service.
Coming out of your paycheck, dude. Good morning, everybody. Are you ready to go on the journey with me today? Let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath in. One more time. Take a deep breath in and exhale out. Let's just know that whatever's happening in our life, any good thing, any bad thing, anything that's just brewing around, let's just get to this moment of silence and peace where there's just your breath and your heartbeat and a connection to the one thing that is the one thing that keeps it all going. It's not an individual, it's not a person, it's not a situation. It's a presence that's moving in, around, and through you. Just take a deep breath in. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my serenity. As within, all around, all I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love, and I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore.
God is all there is, period. There is no good, no bad, no duality, only truth. And the truth is, I am connected with God. And I am connected with each and every living and non-living being. We are all together, and we are all one. Today, I recognize my vulnerability without condemnation. I let go of any fears or concerns I have about being judged. I confess I have experienced disappointment and rejection. And I also know that my reprieve from that is a continued faith in God. I believe there ain't no mountain high enough, there ain't no river low enough, and there ain't no valley wide enough to keep me from my belief in God. And in the belief that inherently all people are good. Each and every one of us has some wonderful, amazing quality. And I recognize that in every being I see, each and every day. I define vulnerability as being strong, strong in my living, my laughing, and my loving. And so for every tear that I've ever shed, I laugh heartily at the flip side of it. Because for every flip side of a coin, there is goodness. I am so grateful to be here today, to be able to stand in my strength and in my truth, and to know without doubt the importance of my being and the importance of everyone else's being, and the truth that God is in each and every one of us and in each and every moment. I am so, so thankful for the fellowship that each and every one of us can share in today, for the messages that are sent forth today to bless us and to uplift us and to help us reach our highest and best good. I know something wonderful is happening today, and I know that each and every one of us, when we leave here, will take that with us so that we can benefit each and every person we come in contact with. For this and so much more, I give thanks. The words I speak are words of truth, they're words of blessing, and they are ordained. So I am able to confidently release them into law, knowing that they are done in heaven and on earth, right here and now. So please affirm them with me by saying, and so it is. Amen.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I awake in this holy silence. I hear all that has never been said, and right here in this holy silence we find God when we find ourselves. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So we awake in this holy silence. We hear all that needs to be said, and right here in this holy silence we find God when we find ourselves. And I find God when I find myself. And you find God when you find yourself.
There is an 11th hour in every demonstration of faith. It is a point at which fear in the individual reaches its crest. At this instant, which is probably a split-second measurement in mind, many people lose their most important battles with themselves. One more breath of faith, and their God ideal would have manifested. One more act of faith, and they would have broken through the particular pattern and freed themselves from its limitation forever. This is the moment of decision. Your faith has at last equalized your fears and doubts. The scales in mind are perfectly balanced. Your next thought, affirmation, or prayer determines whether your fears and doubts lose to you or you to them. To lose this all-important battle of consciousness too often is to contribute to the discouragement patterns which may one day seriously threaten your faith in the principle of mind and your ability to use it. Before you start your next important demonstration, determine at the outset how you are going to act in the 11th hour. Let's take a deep breath in. Please join me as we send our love over the mountain. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, sending out joy. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me, sending out peace. I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. Sending out love, please sing it out. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. It returns to me, and it returns to me.
Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Too late for second guessing. Too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts, close my eyes and leap. It's time to try defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity, and you can't pull me down.
I'm through accepting limits, 'cause someone said they're so. Some things I cannot change, but till I try, I'll never know. Too long I've been afraid of losing love, I guess I've lost. Well, if that's love, it comes at much too high a cost. I think I might defying gravity. Kiss me goodbye, I'm defying gravity, and you can't pull me down. Oh, pull me down.
Unlimited. Together we're unlimited. Together we'll be the greatest team there's ever been. Then the dreams the way we've planned them.
If we work in tandem, there's no fight we cannot win. Just you and I defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity, and you can't pull me down. So if you came to find me, look to the western skies. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves a chance to fly. And if I'm flying solo, at least I'm flying free. To those who ground me, take a message back from me. Tell them how I'm defying gravity. I'm flying high, defying gravity, and soon I'll match them in renown. And nobody in all of Oz, no wizard that there is or was, is ever gonna bring me down. Bring me
Michael
Wow,
and
Megan and Michael. Wow, that was great. Wow. I love stuff like that. Wow. I know. I'll give him his check back. Okay. He gets points for the choreography. Okay. Hey, so today my talk is called The Joy of Living. Here's your affirmation. It's kind of a long one, but go with me. Ready? I accept my own power and I know how to use it. I accept my own worth and I understand its value. I accept my own potential, and I am willing to explore new ways to tap it. I accept my own love, and I give it freely. Actually, you know what? It's really interesting. That kind of sums up where'd Tommy go? Tommy did a great prayer this morning. Wasn't that wonderful? Where'd you go? There you are. Beautiful. Yeah, vulnerability, all of that. It kind of wrapped it right up perfectly. It's almost as if you read my slide, but you didn't. So it's cool. I love that. So that's going to be our affirmation for today. Here's the question. Do I identify more with success than with failure? Do I identify more with the healthy and secure, or the sick and those struggling? Do I identify more with peace than war? Do I identify more with abundance or with lack? You have to ask yourself these key questions, because in today's world, it's very easy to start identifying with different feelings, right? And we can spend a lot of time identifying with lack and limitation and scarcity and anger and resentment and hostility. We can spend a lot of time there. And maybe okay, I'll give you this. Maybe sometimes we have to look at that stuff, but it depends on how long you dwell in that stuff. Do you really want to take a whole spiritual bath in those things? And a lot of people spend a lot of time bathing in a lot of the struggle instead of allowing themselves to recognize that these things do exist, but then conversely, they do see the good in the universe. So you cannot live a choiceless life. How many people try to live a choiceless life? I don't want to make any choices. Oh, come on. Some of you do that all the time. Where do you want to go for dinner? I don't care. Really, I don't care. What do you want to do? I don't care. Whatever you want to do. Anybody? You're married to someone like that? Yeah, they're pointing at other people. You're like, that's him. That's totally him. That's him. And yet when you do, then the other person makes a choice and they're like, well, I don't want to do that. You can't live a choiceless life, because wherever your mind goes, your life experience is going to follow. Whenever you're making choices, your experience is going to follow. So you can't live a choiceless life because you don't want to live a baseless or live your life by default. You want to make choices. In order to feel that joy, in order to feel happiness, one has to engage in the process of living. I was thinking about an acronym for joy, and I've heard a lot of them. And people will, on the way out will, I'm sure, tell me a lot more of them. But there's one that came up with me the other day, and it just, judge only you. I lose my sense of joy when I stand in judgment of anything outside of myself. Now, I can judge myself. I'm permitted to do that, right? Everybody's permitted. You're allowed to, judge yourself. But the second you step out of yourself, and my joy sometimes leaves me when I do comparisons with other people, when I look at things happening in the world and I start judging them. My joy leaves me. So I have to just judge my own life. Judge only you. Right? Judge only yourself. So when I'm doing that, it allows me to allow other people just to be. I find that in my life, I lack joy when I am trying now to control all the variables in my life. Anybody want to control all your variables? Yeah, a couple of them. All right. So the people and how they react and everything around me. And lately I've been trying this exercise, which is just shut up. Just shut up. And let people be. Let people be. You don't have to engage in every conversation with everyone about everything. It's not that I don't stand for something. It's just, am I willing to be the person who's always engaged in the conversation of controversy? I lose my joy when I'm constantly surrounded by, and it's easy, very easy in today's world to get caught up in the controversy of things. It's much easier, I found it, I've been doing this, it's been my spiritual practice lately, is to be quiet. Don't stand in judgment, and just let things be. Joy takes place when we align with what is real. I was with Michael Beckwith on Wednesday. I tell you what, that man can talk fast. You think I talk fast? I think I retained maybe 2% of what he said the whole night, but it was magical. It was a magical night. But he talked about aligning with what is real. In other words, capital R, the God real. When we align ourselves with what is real, then we can heal anything. We can find the joy. We can find the happiness. It's when I step out of alignment, that's when I suffer. Suffering takes place when we pretend to hear more than our source. When I'm separate from source, that's where the suffering takes place, and that's where my joy begins to depart. As long as I'm identifying with what is real, capital R, real love, real joy, real peace, real prosperity, real health, real abundance, real balance, real order, real wisdom, real power, real light. When I'm identifying with those qualities, then my life feels more joyful. There's something to feel joyful about. As soon as I begin to separate from source, right? When I get the judgment of other people, when I begin to feel scared or nervous, that's when the joy is sucked right out of my life. Separation means that's where I lack my joy. So together, please. I accept my own power and I know how to use it. I accept my own worth and I understand its value. I accept my own potential and I am willing to explore new ways to tap it. I accept my own love and I give it freely. No one can ever rise to a lower expectation. You like that? Yeah, no one can ever rise to a lower expectation. Sometimes we're like, well, maybe I'm expecting too much out of life. So if I lower my expectation, I'll be happier. Right? If I lower my expectation, I'll be happier. I'll compromise, and that way I can find, you will never contract yourself into peace or expansion. You can't get smaller in life. The universe calls us to be bigger tomorrow than we are today, to understand more tomorrow than we do today, which means we're asked to express God on a bigger level tomorrow than we are today. It doesn't say shrink up. It doesn't say get small. It doesn't say lower your expectation with your life. It says expand it. Exactly. It says get bigger, live bigger, experience more joy, experience more happiness, more laughter. Put yourself in situations where you will do that. Get out of your box and make it happen. It's the most difficult thing to do. It is so wonderful. I love my couch. I love my couch. I love my house. I love my house. I love my house. And sometimes I think, I'm just so comfortable here, I'll just sit here all week. And then I have this dream. Anybody have this dream? If I could just spend a whole week just sitting here, how wonderful would that be? Right? That's not going to grow anything except my waistline. Right? That's not going to bring loving relationships into my life. That's not going to bring health into my life. That's going to run my Netflix bill up or whatever that is. I mean, I'm going to run up that, but outside of that, nothing else is going to expand if I'm just baking all the time. So you can't just, you have to raise your expectation. And here's the way to do it. Dr. Holmes said, you are not dealing with conditions, you are dealing with thought. Thought, nothing else. Thought and spirit. Stop dealing with the condition. If you lack joy, you're probably focusing on conditions and not thoughts. Follow me? So, what's the one thing that can change a condition? Is thought. I've said it again, I'll say it now. You're one idea away from changing your condition. It comes through thought. Thought, then action, right? But the first place it starts is where? Here. It starts here. This is where the seed is planted, right here. This is where it comes to the surface, and then you move on it. But you're one idea away from changing any condition in your life. So, you are not dealing with conditions. Stop dealing with the condition. The condition is a done deal. It's the beginning of the new deal. Does that make sense? But the condition itself has played its way out. It's done its thing. It's the effect to the cause that created it. It's done. Don't reflect on it. Reflect on what it is, the idea that's going to shift into your next thing. Sometimes, and maybe I'm getting off base here because it's kind of flowing. Sometimes I just want to say, okay, what if I could just get rid of this? If this would just go away, if this bill would go away, or this person would go away, or this condition would go away, if these things would just go away, then I would be happy. Then I would feel joy, right? So what am I supposed to do in the meantime? Has anyone ever been through a tumultuous divorce? Half the room don't admit it. Okay. Have you ever been through a separation or a disagreement, long-term disagreement with a friend? I mean, our joy is sucked out of us while we're processing all this stuff. What if we had the faith that that didn't have to be the case? I'm going to go on because it's going to hear. Dr. Holmes tells us that we must have the faith of God instead of merely a faith in God. So if I had the faith of God, my joy would not be sucked out of me. Now, having a faith in God means I'm just kind of waiting. But if I had the faith of God, I would come from a different place and respond differently every time I woke up or had those emotions. Does that make sense? So it's how we work on those conditions. It's how we look at them as not the condition, the finale, but actually just what is, what's next is on the block. Facts in and of themselves are not frightening. It's when we turn our backs and figure out a way to run from them, then they're terrifying. Facts are facts. But if you've ever had to run, I'm cold now. William, can you turn the fans off for me? Somehow I got cold. That's odd. Except that one because that doesn't happen very often. All right. Facts in and of themselves are not frightening. They are what they are. Deal with facts on a metaphysical basis. If I start to run from them, they run after me. And they always catch up with me. Usually about 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Right about the time that I think I'm going to enter REM sleep, those facts catch up with me. And they go, wake up, Joe. It's going to be a sleepless night for you while you go through this exercise that is futile in nature. But go ahead, do it anyway, because it's somehow going to make you feel like you're doing something about it. Oh, more, good. We have the insomnia group here. Yeah. Yeah, facts are what they are. They are what they are. For every person that says something's incurable, I can show you someone that's been cured through prayer and other means. For every person that's been in some level of discomfort. Michael said something the other day, and it reminded me of this. He said, you know what? What if a situation that you're going through is a necessary piece of the puzzle that when you plug it in, it will finally complete the big picture? But it's a necessary component that the universe, not to test you, but it's just a necessary component. The challenge is a necessary component to wake something up within you so that little piece of the challenge puzzle actually belongs in the bigger piece, in the bigger puzzle. Does that make sense? What if it actually belonged there? Instead of trying to reject it all the time, instead of trying to redesign it or reframe it, what if it's that you could just say, you know what, yeah, it's part of that process. And walk and have the faith of God to say, it's just part of my process. It's just part of what I'm going through. It's a part of my life ordeal. I don't have to separate that piece out and go, bad piece, nasty piece. No, it's part of the piece. It's part of your growth. It's part of your evolution. And it's calling you to recognize it so you can step into your own joy. Does that make sense? Together, please. I accept my own power and I know how to use it. I accept my own worth and I understand its value. I accept my own potential and I am willing to explore new ways to tap it. I accept my own love and I give it freely. When God prepares to do something wonderful, it looks difficult. When something amazing is about to happen, it looks like a near impossibility. Have you ever noticed that? That's kind of just, in other words, it's kind of paraphrasing. When things are looking that way, expect something good. Our pattern has probably been, myself included, that when something looks like that, we're expecting something bad to come from it. Like the nasty piece of puzzle. We're expecting something in the future to reflect that it's not good. And of course, through the law of attraction, then what happens? I attract the not good, and then I tell everybody, see, I told you so. I knew that was going to happen. Of course we did. But what if you expected, that said, when things become difficult, when things look like a near impossibility, what if I expected good to come from it? I demanded that good come from it. What if I claimed much of the universe, I demand to see the good in this? Now, I don't think, sometimes you can see it instantly. Most times you have to grow into it. You have to experience life and grow into that. But make the demand nonetheless, because the universe is going to listen to your demands anyway. You're either going to demand to be more miserable, or you're going to engage in its healed condition. The universe is going, what do you want, Joe? I demand to see the good in this. Say that for me, please. I demand to see the good in this. Yeah, I demand it. Now, or as soon as possible. As soon as the logical and sequential order of things unfold. I demand to see it, though, because good's going to come from it. You are joy and love. Your thoughts, not the world, cause our stress. Can you imagine God going, you know what? I'm going to create Joe in my stressful image and likeness. And I'm going to burn him out, piss him off at every possible corner, jerk the rug out from underneath him, tip him over while he's riding his bike. You know, that's what I'm going to do for Joe. I don't believe in a God that would ever do that. I believe that we are joy and love, and the potential of even more. So your thoughts, not the world, cause you stress. Moment by moment thinking can move you in the right direction. Acknowledge your spiritual infancy and realize that things sometimes look difficult, but they shouldn't be looked at as impossible. It's how you frame it. If you want to experience joy, you have to be in the frame of it. You have to make sure that everything fits in the frame of joy. Even the stuff that you don't think should fit in has to fit in there. Because if you don't, then you live in a world of duality. And then you're waiting for your happiness to arrive. Does this make sense? Yes. But moment by moment thinking, I'm really working on that. I tell you what, for those of you who've been calling into my Dialing Ideas lately, I am really working on being in the moment. You know, not projecting into the future, not reflecting on the past, but just being in the moment. I call it taking a bath in the day. Be in the day. Be in the day. The second I begin to start projecting all of this stuff at my own insecurities, and the world supports that, by the way. The outside world will support every insecurity you've ever had. Just watch a prescription ad. You will walk away with more illnesses by taking that one little pill. Those side effects may cause death. Here, pop 2. Moment by moment. You know, and maybe I'm wussing out. I don't know. Maybe this is part of my own spiritual evolution, but when I look at things in the aggregate, they can become really overwhelming. But when I'm living in the moment, each thing is workable. So it's not the world's not causing my stress. It's how I'm dealing in the moment. So you have to ask yourself, how am I dealing in this moment? Not the next one. Not the next one. How am I dealing in this moment? How am I dealing with it? The next moment's going to follow. Trust me. The next moment, there'll come another one, and another one. And if you're lucky, another one. Right? They're going to come either way. So just be in this moment. I am the place where God lives. Say that with me, please. I am the place where God lives. When is the last time you thought of yourself as that entity? When is the last time you looked in the mirror and said, I am the place where God lives? Not, wow, what did I do with my hair? Or, wow, where did it all go? Or, wow, I need to make my appointment with the cosmetic surgeon. When is the last time you said to yourself, I am the place where God lives, moves and has its being? I am the place where God speaks. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives. Say that with me, please. I am the place where God lives. There is no other kingdom right now. There's just the kingdom of now. I mean, what happens on some other plane, we'll all have to figure out. But right now, we are given the gifts in the kingdom of heaven right here and right now. And also hell. You have the keys to both. Some of you like having double residencies. There you go. You know, keeping up two houses is tough. One in heaven, one in hell. Right? But you are the place where God lives. If that's the case, why am I not laughing more? Why am I not engaging in hey, laughing doesn't cost you a nickel. A nickel. Joy is free. People spend a lot of money trying to create it, but it's all a thought, isn't it? It's all a quality. I find joy in a Three Musketeer bar, but you know, it's the little things. Never mind. Finally, stop boring God. Ooh, people don't like that one, do they? Stop boring God with all the details of why things aren't working. Really. Not only is God bored, but all the people you've been telling the story to, they're equally as bored. That make sense? Yeah. As a parent, I hope she's not watching. As a parent, she's not, it's too early, she's sleeping. As a parent, you know, you look at your kid and you go, wow, why don't you engage and do something, or get out there and do something, because we're bored watching them, right? Well, I think the universe is kind of doing the same thing sometimes. It's like, why don't you just engage? If you're complaining about not having friends, if you're complaining about not having a social life, if you're complaining about all these things, why don't you just engage? It doesn't come via the computer. It doesn't come via Netflix. It comes by engaging in life. So we need to stop boring God with all of our stuff and start engaging in what can be a life full of joy. It's all perspective, isn't it? I experienced joy yesterday when I cleaned out my refrigerator. You know? I hate to tell you that, but when you look at something, you go, this is from 2014. What is it doing in my refrigerator? I felt such joy recycling that glass, you know? Emptying it out, recycling it. I felt joy cleaning. Hey, isn't that an idea? I saw somebody poke their husband just now going, yeah, you're cleaning the garage. I saw that. Engage in whatever you can that just makes you feel a sense of release or relief or happiness or joy. Put yourself in the flow of that. Think of the universe going, jump into the river and let's go for a ride. And yeah, you're going to hit some rapids every now and then, you know? But, you know, grab a raft and take a ride. Look at it as a part of the ride, as part of the journey. People pay to go on those rapids, right? They pay for rough whitewater. Okay, look at your life that way. It's okay. It's all okay. In fact, it's better than okay. Together, please. I accept my own power and I know how to use it. I accept my own worth and I understand its value. I accept my own potential and I am willing to explore new ways to tap it. I accept my own love, and I give it freely. And so ends your lesson. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Joe. So I invite our ushers to please come forward, please. And those of you that are watching on the computer or on your smartphones, if you're on your computer, there's a button there to give. If you're on your smartphones, you can text to 760-292-2233. And so as we prepare, yes, so we are here to live an exciting life, and it's always exciting here at this center, and that's why we support our centers so that we can have a beautiful spiritual home to come to every week. So let's just go within, feel that gratitude, feel the joy, the abundance that we have, that we share, and please say the offertory prayer with me. I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. I know my offering and my commitment to the center allows us to do great work in the world, and so it is.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my joy. God is my power. God gives me everything I need.
Thank you, William.
So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my love. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
So let's just hold up our hands and send our blessings and our energy to our offering as we say, we bless this gift. We send it forth to heal and prosper. We know our offering and our commitment to the center allows us to do great work in the world, and so it is. All right. So at this time, I'd like to welcome our visitors. If you're here for the first time, please stand. We'd love to welcome you, and we have a gift for you. Welcome. All right. Welcome. Yes. All right. So what we're giving you is a CD holder container with information about our center. Please stop by the foyer there and pick up a CD of a couple of Dr. Joe's talks. And if you're from the Valley, please come back. If you're here for Stagecoach or just here to enjoy our fabulous desert, enjoy your stay. You are definitely in heaven right now. And right? We love it here. So this is our prayer team. If you are going through anything, any of that fear that Dr. Joe talked about or any challenges, please go over there and meet with our prayer team and have them pray with you. If you don't have time for that, there's a little box back there that you can put your prayer request in, and it does go to our whole prayer team, and we pray for you. Don't forget what we have going on this week. We have our financial peace. We have my book study on Tuesday, Wednesday. We have our midweek, and don't forget my soul sisters. I will see my soul sisters Thursday. So let's just do a closing prayer. So right here, right now, We know that we are here to give God a good time. So we claim our good. We turn away from our fear and we walk in confidence, knowing that this life that we are creating it. We are creating it with our thoughts. So we focus on the good. We see the joy. We feel the joy. We find joy in every day of our life. And we know that we live in this sea of infinite possibilities, and we are magnets for our good, for our health, for our loving relationships, for our abundance. So grateful for this opportunity to experience a new day, to experience life in its amazing, different myriad of ways. We say thank you, and we let go, knowing that this is the truth of our being, knowing that this is the truth of who we are. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Have a wonderful week, everyone.